a mattress manufacturer, but it's good enough to see the wireframe concepts that we had initially created. And this is resizable. If you resize the window to like a iOS kind of level, of course you can see this all looking like how it'll scale on a mobile phone and things like that. So this company, Avocado Green Brands, is the name of the company. So they sell what they call organic vegan mattresses. And as a company that believes in sustainability and using organic practices, it was important for them to distinguish themselves from the competitors in the market. So with Avocado, the way they build their product, they have reduced the manufacturing process down to 3 main ingredients. Okay? So the first product that they use as the main material is actually latex, organic latex, and rubber. It comes from Guatemala, it comes from Kerala in India, and comes from other places. The insulation material that they have inside is wool. The wool is sourced from the northern part of India in the foothills of Himalayas. A place called Himachal Pradesh, which is about 12,000 feet above the sea level. And in that area, there are about 150,000 heads of sheep that are free roaming, managed by hundreds of farmer groups who let the sheep roam around. Every year, twice a year, they bring the sheep into the shearing process, and then they collect the wool from it, and the wool has to be processed, cleaned, and during the cleaning process, they don't use any harmful chemicals, so everything is organic. And from there, the wool is converted into basically what they call wadding material. So it goes through a wool factory to create the wadding material that goes into it. And from there, these materials are exported. So it gets shipped by train and by truck into the ports out of India, sent to Los Angeles. And then the factories in Los Angeles. And then they get the cotton fabrics from organic cotton manufacturers. They are spread out between India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, etc. And then the mattress gets manufactured in Los Angeles. So when a consumer goes to Avocado's website and makes an order, it goes directly from Los Angeles to the consumers anywhere in the United States. Okay. So here the idea was, they're putting a lot of effort into making sure this is organic, this is certified. They have third-party certification agencies like USDA, Global Organic Textile Society, Global Organic Latex Society. They have OCA-Tex. There are different certifications that are involved. And the certification process historically have been gamed by some of the competitors. In fact, the organic cotton industry in India got a bad name a couple of years back, because a lot of people were caught cheating. And some of it was by bribing the certification companies. Sometimes the data that is given to the certification companies, they're supposed to take the soil samples, they're supposed to verify the production output of the farms, and they're supposed to match it against the actual theoretical possibilities for that kind of soil and location. So these are all chemistry specialists who are supposed to do all the math. Now, if a certification inspector kind of looks the other way and lets you put in 10,000 pounds more than you're supposed to, and now it goes along as organic, who's going to know the difference, right? So that has been a challenge in some of these supply chains. There has been a different ways to tackle it. So when we look at trust as the foundation of what we're doing, imagine truth or trust is actually not black or white. It is actually 50 shades of gray, right? So the first level is maybe self-reported information. Then second level is verified by people inside the company or their own suppliers, upstream customers, etc., who do inspections. Going beyond that to the next level might be certification by a third party, and we have companies like Control Union who are using our systems for certifying information. And this information that they need to show has a lot of things that go along with it. It's not just the product safety information and the product testing validation information, but they also want to know, are you paying fair wages? Are you in violation of Over Forced Labor Prevention Act? Is the cotton actually sourced from India? Is cotton coming from China? Likely that since 84% of Chinese cotton comes from Xinjiang region, where more than 3 million Muslims have been incarcerated, anything coming from China in the cotton industry is suspect as potentially in violation. So Customs and Border Patrol has a new law that requires them to stop anything from coming in, and it is just based on suspicion. Customs can say, stop, you're not coming in. Now the importer has to show complete traceability, track and trace all the way to the origin, not just for the product, but also what went into the products. Like for cotton, they have to be able to even show where the cotton seed was farmed, whether the people who farmed were from the Uyghur population, whether fair wages were being paid, all of the living conditions. This applies to minerals, this applies to anything that could potentially be produced from that area, right? So there's a lot of data that needs to be collected around this and shared in real time. So the traditional systems where you share this in Excel sheets, obviously you can manipulate them. If you share them through EDI, a portal, you can, again, people in the middle can change your data. So the ability to provide authentic data from source to all the way to consumer is very, very limited. Some of the ways people have been trying to solve it, there are companies that are providing data around movement of goods and services. If the item was produced in China, went to Vietnam, went to Pakistan to manufacture, then they try to figure out based on who the producing entities are and where it went to, likelihood of potential fraud or risk in the supply chain, etc. And there are other companies who there's expensive processes. Well, they'll take samples of the material and they will do a DNA analysis of the fiber, and the DNA analysis will match against the DNA coming from different parts of the world and different regions and different farms, etc. And based on the orientation of the fiber and things like that, they would be able to pinpoint that it says coming from this region or that region, and if they suspect that it's coming from that Xinjiang region, then it gets tracked. Right? So there's a lot of different ways to do this. But if you are an honest supplier and you're doing everything possible to show that you are actually in compliance and you're doing everything, then you can take a very different approach. Okay, the approach that we are taking here is show all the data that you are comfortable showing. We give you the ability to mask out certain information that you can't. Okay? And we're providing this through a simple QR code interface again. So imagine you put a QR code on the mattress and you receive this mattress, scan the QR code, and it brings up this. Okay. And it is you have the ability to tell a story based on what you want to show the customer. Okay. So you can see the first pane that we're showing is, okay, verify our certifications. Our material here are certified organic wool, certified organic latex, certified organic cotton. So that information, you can see it is verified in blockchain. On the organic latex, verified in blockchain. Organic cotton, verified in blockchain. So what we're telling people is that we are putting the information out on blockchain, which means that we will not be able to make any changes. Nobody else can make changes in this data. And this data is tamper-proof from the point at which we put the information. Obviously, you have to make sure that garbage in doesn't translate to garbage out. Now we also have third-party verifications. So Global Organic Textile Standard, they've done the certification. So we have the certificate here. standard 100 by Okotex. We have the certification here. We're putting videos from source with timestamps. We are putting the information from the wool factory. Okay, it's also a marketing opportunity for us to differentiate. Okay, and the blockchain proof. You can see the certificate on the blockchain. You can see the certificate designed. You can see the ID information, the summary. You can see the status. You can see the issuer. You can see the type. You can see the validity of the certificate, and you can see the information. Here's a URL link to look at that. Now let's go down a little bit further. The wool, the batch ID is this particular batch ID. The latex is this particular latex batch ID, and this is the this particular cotton is this batch ID. Okay, so now we're not saying just a generic certificate that been issued for a year for this factory. We are saying that for this mattress, this batch ID is what went into it. Okay. Now let's go down further. For going down to the wool, drilling down to the wool batch ID, we can say on January 12th, this was a farm. This is a sheep farm. It's in Kulu in Himachal Pradesh. Then this was sheared on the 20th, again, same location. And then on the 25th, it went through the whole cleaning and combing part of it to separate the fiber out. And then it was shipped in February to San Francisco. And then Los Angeles port went through from San Francisco, went to Los Angeles facility in California. And from there, it was delivered to their store, and it could be delivered to customer also. Okay. Now, going down further, we are looking at the organic wools, the sheep farming record. You can see the record here is okay. You see the actual pictures. And these pictures, by the way, could be satellite pictures. This could be location-enabled GPS data also for the pictures. So we can take different types of proof. So here we're now translating that into what is the type of sheep, what's the age of sheep. So we're pulling information from the farm group about the type of sheep. We are actually mapping out the location, so you can actually see the picture on a map. Now we are now putting additional information to give people the confidence and touchy-feely around what they're really doing. So we are inserting a little bit of the marketing components to it, but adding that direct connection to source with truths. Okay. So when we bringing this, now you can see the blockchain proof, the certificate. So now the text messages are associated with it, the transaction IDs on it. This has been verified by CopperWire on its blockchain. These are the issuers and the hash and the type and the verification, validity, and all the claims that are being made that are put in. Now, we can also add additional things about our sustainable practices. So fact that we are non-toxic, okay, made safe certification, the responsible wool standard, all those proofs are also here, carbon negative. So we're not just making a claim, but we're actually putting it out for people to know that we are not going to be changing this. Nobody else is going to change this. This is the information that has been captured at source with the timestamps, and then climate neutral video references. So now we can actually explain to a consumer what is it that we do that is unique. So we're creating a brand differentiation in the consumer's mind. And then same thing, we are going down deeper and deeper, and we do this thing with each of the supply chain. So we just went through one material, and now we do the same thing with cotton. We do the same thing with latex, and we connected the systems together to bring all that thing together. Okay, so provenance, when you see a QR code and you see the result, it is the result of the ability to track and trace things end to end. Okay, so